Junior Radio. Whoa. Cutting edges on your stereo. Yeah. Mutabaruka leads the way. So just you let the station play. Yeah. Say your teaching's got to hold on me. Yeah. Well, this is Kimani and you're listening to, you know, Mutabaruka. IRFM, cutting edge. Whoa!
IRFM, thought-provoking, always smoking. Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
If you're ready, make with me. And if you're ready, make with me. Make it do it for job. Make with me. Rastafari. Make with me. The roots and culture. Make with me. And if you're ready, make with me. Make with me. And make with me. Make with me. And make with me. Every nation have to do it. Every nation have to do it.
listening to Mutabaruka. Always smoking. Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Against the wall, yeah. If I go Toronto and Kingston is gonna meet. And I can see with my own eyes, it's only a housing scheme that divide. And the two segments clash to dread. And the two segments clash. Look up a cotton tree out by Ferry Bunny Station. How beautiful it used to be, and it has been destroyed by lightning, earthquake and thunder. I say, what? And the two segments clash. I take a ride sometimes on Penova Land and Ranch, and sometimes I
thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
7 miles of Black Star liners coming in the harbor. 7 miles of Black Star liners coming in the harbor. I can see them coming. I can see hydrants running. I can hear the elders sing. These are the days for which we've been praying. 7 miles of Black Star liners coming in the harbor. 7 miles of Black Star liners coming in the harbor. It's repatriation, black liberation. Yes, the time has come, black man, we're going home. 7 miles of Black Star liners coming in the harbor. 7 miles of Black Star liners coming in the harbor. I can see them coming. I can see hydrants running. I can hear the elders sing. These are the days for which we've been praying. 7 miles of Black Star liners coming in.
Not today! With Mutabaruka! We are listening to all of it! In the ear! Continent! The end! The end!
And a great fool as a
Continent!
some man with intelligence, also Marcus Garvey, the forerunner. But I catch history about Marcus Garvey. But I catch history, yes, and I catch history. And I catch history about Marcus Garvey. And I catch history, yes, and I catch it. Now 1887 man Marcus Garvey down in a St. Anne's Bay, down in a the country. The man moved to Kingston as a royal king. A great printer, him work with Benjamin. 1904, them catch them fear because of the man journalistic career. 1908, Garvey get a big fight because him take part in the trade union strike. 1909, assistant secretary with all those work Garvey who no bother. 1910, travel to Costa Rica, Panama, Ecuador, and Nicaragua, Honduras, Colombia, and Venezuela. 1911, return to Jamaica. 1912, Garvey go to England because they want to check out them education. Wanna catch history about Marcus Garvey. Wanna catch history, yes, wanna catch history. Wanna catch history about Marcus Garvey. Wanna catch history, yes, wanna catch Now if you love Garvey, you shout hip hip hooray. 1914 him launched the UNIA. 1916 travel to USA. 1917 the man a tour same way. 1918 the man a teach same way. Them hate the profit through them have bad mind. 1919 them have the Black Star Line. 1920 in first conventions. Visit Cuba by the 1921. 1922 he make the first petition. For all black people and the League Nation. Marcus Garvey two wife, the name sister Amy. So, what a catchy history about Marcus Garvey. What a catchy history, yes, what a catchy history. What a catchy history about Marcus Garvey. What a catchy history, yes, what a catchy. No, Marcus Garvey first book published 1923, 1924. Me just can't figure. Garvey gone to prison over income tax. 1925, oh no must remember. Them lock up Garvey up in Atlanta. How are them call him political prisoner? 1927, Garvey come from prison. 1928, Garvey in politics. Colonial people, them get jumpy over the people's political party. 1929, them put him in a prison. Them spend 3 months and them don't know if he war. When Garvey come out, him have to pay for. How much him pay? £200 paper. 1930, born Marcus Jr. The 17th of the month of September. So, what a catchy history about Marcus Garvey. What a catchy history, yes, what a catchy history. What a catchy history about Marcus Garvey. What a catchy history, yes, what a catchy. Marcus Garvey headquarter for all black man. That was Eloise back in 1931. 1932 news publication. Daily newspaper for all black man. 1933 born him son Julius. 16 of August, enough of them get jealous. 1934 another convention. 1935 Garvey moved to England because of the colonial oppression. 1937 visit the Caribbean. 1938 another convention. Him wife and children moved to Jamaica land. 1940 them same dead at England. Go back for read the book philosophy opinion. In a the winning at this time you feel look for the man. And who depend them might the great history man. So what a catchy history about Marcus Garvey. What a catchy history, yes, what a catchy history. What a catchy history.
Give us the teaching of Marcus Garvey. Hebranicus means glory of kings. If I and I Selassie I and keep the images of lies for yourself. People without a vision perish like suicide. You tell me it's not about color, still you refuse to take the picture off the wall. All you do is trick the brothers and keep them confused. They don't know who to call on in this spiritual war. Now tell me of a paradise in the sky, when that's a lie. And now tell me I was born in sin and shaped in iniquity, and love created I. Look how many prophets tried to open our eyes. You can't fool me.
New millennium slavery, hiding the chains and still beating us daily. Now we're mentally poisoned to fight for black skin. Bleaching at the inting, far out and far in. Sin, you tell me it's not about color, still you refuse. Take the picture out your books. I know that's not how he looks. Push. All you do is trick the brothers and keep them confused. They don't know who to call on in this heretical war. Don't tell me of a paradise in the sky, and that's a lie. And not tell me I was born in sin and shaped in iniquity when love created I. Look how many prophets tried to open our eyes. You can't fool me.
Marcus, Garvey words come to pass. Marcus, Garvey words come to pass. Can't get no food to eat. Can't get no money to spend. I say, can't get no food to eat. Can't get no money to spend. Come little ones and let me do what I can for you. And you, I love. Come little ones, come.
The school bell will be ringing this Sunday when Reggae Radio, Ira FM and our friends from Lime touch down at Jam World Portmore St. Catherine for the 5th annual Lime School Aid.
You're not saying nothing till you're Irish.
Team Ira will be on the ground for all the excitement and entertainment as we kickstart back to school with Lime. If you can't arrive, listen live from midday with me, Robert Williams, and the Ira team as we bring all the buzz from Jam World Portmore with Lime helping everyone get back to school in style. That's the Ira FM team live from Jam World for Lime School Aid this Sunday on the 107 from 12 noon. Brought to you by Lime. Value every moment.
Continent with Mutabaruka. We are listening to all our meds. You know here. Continent. The end. The end.
Rescue it from this ideology.
children, say it loud. Make them know we're still black and proud. Scabba-dabba-da. If you don't know where you're coming from, you won't know where you're going. A people without the knowledge of their past is like a tree without roots. Africa for Africans, those at home and those abroad. If you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence you have won, even before you have started. Come children, say it loud. Make them know we're still black and proud. The Honorable Marcus Garvey speaks. The time has come for black people to forget and cast behind them hero worship and adoration of other races, and to start out immediately to create and emulate heroes of his own. We must canonize our own saints, create our own martyrs, and elevate the position of fame and honor of black men and women who have made their distinct contributions to our racial history. Sojourner Truth is worthy of the place of sainthood alongside Joan of Arc. Disposatok, St. George William Gordon are entitled to the halo of martyrdom with no less glory than that of the martyrs of any other race. Toysant Overture, brilliance as a soldier and statesman, outshone that of Cromwell, Napoleon and Washington. Hence, he is entitled to the highest place as a hero among men. Africa has produced countless numbers of men and women in war and in peace, whose luster and bravery outshine that of any other people. Then why not see good and perfection in ourselves? The world today is indebted to us for the benefits of civilization. They stole our arts and science from Africa. Then why should we be ashamed of ourselves? Their modern improvements are but duplicates of a grander civilization that we've reflected thousands of years ago, without the advantage of what is buried and still hidden to be resurrected and reintroduced by the intelligence of our generation and our prosperity. Why should we be discouraged because somebody laughs at us today? Who's to tell what tomorrow will bring forth? Did they not laugh at Moses, Christ and Muhammad? Was there not a Carthage, Greece and Rome? We see and have changes every day. So pray, work, be steadfast, and be not dismayed. Let no voice but your own speak to you from the depths. Let no influence but your own raise you in time of peace and time of war. Hear all, but attend only to that which concerns you. Your first allegiance shall be to yourself, then to your family, race and country. Remember always that the Jews in his political and economical urge is always first a Jew. The white man is first a white man under all circumstances, and you can do no less than be first and always a black person, and then all else will take care of itself. Let no one inoculate you for your own conveniences. There's no humanity before that which starts with yourself. Charity begins at home. First thyself be true, and thou canst not then be false to anyone. Marcus Garvey speaks.
Yeah, good night. This is the Cutting Edge on RFM. You have been listening to a slew of
music levicated to Marcus Garvey and projecting who Marcus Garvey is. You know, so we levicate the whole of this month to Marcus Garvey and August not finish yet, so we not stop with Marcus Garvey, you know. Yes, when everybody stop, we not stop. We continue the journey right to the end of this month. 1 month, August, Marcus Garvey month to call it. So tonight we're going to feature Marcus Garvey again, as we did for the past so much weeks, on the cutting edge. We want you to all the people them who take part in that wonderful feast on Sunday. Oh gosh, man, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, we know say it must leave an imprint on someone out there. Must leave an imprint on someone out there. So we know say the work is continuing through the microphone of IRFM. So tonight we want to feature a lecture by Henrik Clarke, and it is called The Legacy of Marcus Garvey. We want you to listen to carefully what this man, Henrik Clarke, the late Henrik Clarke, have to say about the legacy of Marcus Garvey. A very interesting analysis and important documentation about Marcus Garvey. And you know, say, we do things different all the while. Yes, we do things different from most ones. When them do things, them do it one way. When we do things, we do it many different ways, but we do it the same way. So, we want to tell you that well, we can't even put your tape on cock again because tape not about tape not about again, you know. Tape about still. I wonder who have tape out there tape program again. Nobody that tape program again after the tape. Cassette. No, cassette done with a CD. Not even CD, you know, we can't talk about CD again. Computer style. So, yeah man, we want you to tune in because we are saying the only way we can do it on the radio is do it like how we are doing it. So no, we don't know no way else to do it. You understand? We figure say, if we have the microphone in our mouth 4 hours to one night, we have to do something to make it elevate and motivate and wake up the conscience and the consciousness of those who is listening. And tonight is no different.
Revelation time is now. I'm a Gideon time. We're moving on. Israel is moving on. Martin Luther and Marcus Garvey, His Imperial Majesty, they are the ones who inspire you and I. Jaja is the King of the Kings, and yes, He's the Lord of the Lords. So spread it throughout the world, each and all of Jah words. They were here before, and will come again. I won't tell you a lie. Their new name is Rastafari. So Marcus Garvey, your words will come to pass. His Majesty, Ethiopia, your kingdom will last.
Yes, Marcus Garvey. Yeah man, you listen to Earl 16. Long time brethren from them time there. You know, say, always them are going with, you know. If them did really have Marcus Garvey as a serious part of the whole program of redemption and liberation for African people, Jamaican people, them wouldn't catch over it, so you know. No, because them keep things, you know. I mean, I say them not keep nothing, you know, but look on where them keep. You know, every year them put something in a library, don't Centania, so. I don't know how much money them spend on that, but obviously it don't look like how much money. It look like how much money. Maybe them give the big officials them per day. They come down, they come sit down. You know, but look how we go on up here, so. I refer me so Sunday. And the thousands of people who gather to come celebrate just because we call them. We call them to order. And you know the other day, last year, yes, 1 and some years ago, we call the people them to order for the Coral Garden atrocity. and we march through Kingston to Alfred Tree and the thousands of people that gather to really recognize the importance of visibility. Guys, visibility is very important, you know. If a man not see, you know, and not hear about you, if there's no way you can evaluate and create a kind of image around where you want him to do. That's why Marcus Garvey said propaganda is a very important tool and necessary for spreading this doctrine of liberation and freedom. So, what we are saying is that we know, right as all, the power of the microphone and the power of the airwaves, and we use it in the most effective way we can. And we give thanks to the management and the owner, our owners, whosoever, for really understand and appreciate what radio is supposed to do in a Jamaica. Because over the years, we see like them want to maintain the same status quo like them a BBC and CNN. And even BBC and CNN go into places to really unravel mysteries and unravel this and unravel that. Radio is not just for entertainment. Radio is also for information and education. So we don't wait till people bring news come give it. We make the news. You understand? And Marcus Garvey is deserving of news. So when you hear we say 1 month on this program, Marcus Garvey, we know say it's important that we do that. It's important that we spend some time on Marcus Garvey for 1 month. And that no means say we're going to stop after 1 month, you know, because you know say our mantra on this program is, if you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence, you have won even before you have started. And you see, anytime we repeat that over and over, you find say, other people, it can't come out of your brains. Like Marcus Garvey talk about propaganda. You see, the more we say that, is the more an next person out there are going to repeat it, and the more and it just indelible in your ears continuously. If you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence, you have won even before you have started. Are some serious words to live by the man called Marcus Garvey, who has been recognized as one of the most important philosophers of the 20th century. Marcus Garvey is recognized as one of the most important philosophers of the 20th century. So we don't go create singers and runners and all these things. Philosophers, Marcus Garvey, say, if you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence, you have won even before you have started. These words are words to live by. And years me I live by that day, mantra there. Believe you me. You talk about prayer. We don't go down on knee and pray to no imaginary, invisible craziness, superstitious madness. No, we're not doing that. Never find I kneeling down and clasping hand and praying to the imaginary force. No. We have words that was given to us by men, great men of color, that we know existed and exists today. That when we say what they say, we know that it is coming from and where it is coming from and who it is coming from. I usually, some man start quote things to me, and when me ask them, so who said that? And a man just say in the Bible, I say, then, oh, you know who said? Who said that? Who write that? Him can't tell you who because nobody don't know who yet. A man tell you, say, why it inspired by God. If you don't know who write it and you don't know who the man would do it, all you know is that it's inspired. All you know is it's inspired. What make where the man who write the Psalms or the men them who write the Psalms more inspired than our singers here today? So when you listen to the music of reggae music, you hear inspiration just a flow. Just a flow, so. And we get inspired by things around us and in us. Some people get inspired by the same word in the Bible too. But we know and we understand. We're not going to make them tell you about, well, me have a talk for everybody, you know. Me not going to make them tell me about no wisdom from above. And me come and look for above. And I talk about God take the case. And I look for divine intervention. The only divine intervention cometh from our ability to discern what is wrong and make it right in ourselves. We have to use ourselves. And when I say ourselves, we are talking about O-U-R. Ourselves. We organize ourselves into a force that is necessary to bring about change in ourselves. Because if you can't change yourself, it's usually you're going to try to change the world. Because if you change yourself, the world will change. Yourself. It's usually you're going to try to change the world. Because if you change yourself, the world will change. You have some man around up and down the place that try to change the world and I try to indoctrinate the world. And then him family and him personal relationship is not working out. You have to work on that first. You have to work on the communication with your children before you come talk about you want to work on communication with the world. Joining organizations and community this and community that. When you can't even help yourself. Confidence in self is what is necessary and important. And that message should be right across the board. When man talk about mantra, our Father with art in heaven, if you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. Because life is one race, you know. With confidence, you have won. Even before you have started. Man, them words there, trust me, man, resonating in my consciousness. No matter where me there, where me go. And we keep repeating it. Because Marcus Garvey tell us that we must repeat these things continuously. Marcus Garvey said that. Don't just say the thing. Well, that's why sometimes we play a tape over and over. And I say, man, go there, say, boy, I'm going to hear that tape already. But guess what? You see, when they hear that tape already, you have 500 man out there who never hear it yet. And look how long ago me did play it. When we play it, I saw a man call me all miggle morning. I tell me, say, Muta, you see that tape the way you play, boy, I'm like a copy of it, you know. And then yet still the man who did hear it already, you know, when him hear it again, you know, him hear something him never did hear before. Marcus Garvey tell me about that propaganda. That is how them catch you. And we know the power of that. That is why a man take out advertisement on radio and him not just play it one time, say want 5 different spots. And him want to spot them when him know people are listening. That's why when you look at the television, you watch all that, you say sponsored by. And you see the advertisement that go right over and over and over and over. And then when you look all over this, you see the sign mark over this and the sign over this. So it's propaganda that. And propaganda seep in your conscience and your consciousness. Sometimes you go in a supermarket and believe that you are choose. It's not you are choose. It's the advertisement choose for you. And the advertisement is into your consciousness. So a lot of things that we do today, a lot of it is not we of our own free will is doing it. But that will was given to us through propaganda. When we repeat certain things and we don't know this thing. But some people die for things that they don't know about. It's propaganda caused that. And Marcus Garvey recognized the power of propaganda. And we must use propaganda. The politicians, them use it every day in them lying lips and tongues. The past use propaganda in them lying lips and tongues. Promise you good living when you die, and none of them never dead yet to come tell you how that go. And the politician promise you good living when you're alive. And no care how long you live, the same politician just go on and tell you lies. So, and sometimes your living condition will get worse. So we are saying, Marcus Garvey, right through and through, the little man from St. Anne, the philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey, more relevant today than that book what them call the Holy Bible. We have said that non-apologetically. Non-apologetically, because if we would read the philosophy and opinions like how most Jamaicans think they are reading the Bible, we would have more confidence in ourselves. We wouldn't see anything in it to tell us that we were born in sin and shaped in iniquity. What a piece of audacity. We were born in sin and shaped in iniquity. We would never see nothing like that in the philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey. Because when I read the philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey, it uplifts a race of people that is domiciled on these farmer slave plantation islands. And it is lifting us up. Him say, up, you mighty race. You can accomplish what you will. You know when somebody wills something, what that mean? It's like magic. Up, you mighty race. Marcus Garvey claimed that. You mighty race. You think Bible will tell you that? Up, you mighty race. It will tell you about Israel, chosen people of Israel. You have to get in line with Israel to be chosen of God. Because one guy over there so I tell you, say, you must cut out the tip of your penis, circumcise. And the next guy over there try to say, circumcision is not one of flesh, but circumcision is one of heart. There is neither male nor female in the sight of the Lord. And them tell you about. Marcus Garvey say, black man, on kneel down and pray too much, get up. Right down a word to your time make that statement there. Marcus Garvey said that. Marcus Garvey said, black man, go up on his knees and pray too much. He must rise up. So him say, up, you mighty race. Accomplish what you will. Them should have the philosophy and opinions in the church, them. Them should have put the philosophy and opinions in the church. Yes. Because Marcus Garvey was a humanitarian who understand the humanity of all man. But when him look on the world, him say, but look on this door, how come black people that the lowest elm? Who these people who gave the world science, who gave the world all these philosophies and all these things, how we reach this all? Him say, up you might race, you can accomplish what you will. Now, black people, our turn. We can't make Marcus Garvey just a gosso and a gosso. And I know 1 year thing, you know. Every year we come do what we are doing, so like what we do Sunday, you know. And I know 1 year thing, you know. It's a natural progression of the human species to find freedom and liberation. And there are black print that is laid down by our ancestors. And one of our ancestors is Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Marcus Mosiah Garvey say, look here man, race first. And race first don't mean say you're against other races. But if you see your brother and a stranger drown, you go and go throw the rope to your brother first. That is instinct. Human instinct. If Jamaica and Trinidad are play football match, instinctively you're going to cheer for Jamaica. That is a human instinct. It don't mean you don't like Trinidadian. It just means you are instinctively saying nationalism to you is most important. So whether the team can play good or not, you're cheering for them and then them lose, you curse them. It's just so it go. So when Marcus Garvey say race first, he must say black people, look out for yourself first before you can save the world. Because everybody else look out for themselves. Marcus Garvey say, a people without a knowledge of them history is like a tree without root. Black people walk up and down and don't even know I came about nothing more than say, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. And darkness was up on the face of the deep, and God said, let there be light, and there was light. And on the sixth day, make a man out of clay. And we don't want to turn that clay there in a diamond. Just like how them claim, so them put tan on our head, Rastaman head. And now that tan has become a crown. And we don't give up over the years. And with all the cussing and the mocking and the jeering, with all we talking about Marcus Garvey, Emperor Haile Selassie I. And we still there, I carry the load for black people. In all the mocking and the scorning, we continue the journey and the process. Black people, wake up to the reality. Marcus Garvey live. And we don't have no illusion. We don't have no illusion. We don't worship no man. But we praise the works of all the men who came and the women who came in honor of our liberation and the struggle for a just cause for every man per earth. So Marcus Garvey say race first. Up you mighty race. You can accomplish what you will.
Anything praiseworthy is to be done. It must be done through unity. But of building a nation on his own on the great continent of Africa.
This is the cutting edge on RFM. As we say, we want to play this lecture by John Henrik Clarke, and it is called The Legacy of Marcus Garvey. Why listen to it carefully. You understand? So we're going to start it right at this point.
Color wave, their color preferences, and rolled in on their prejudices. Knew that Jamaica was one of the most color stratified islands in the Caribbean. England had made it so. All of this has to do with something. If Marcus Garvey were alive today and ran for election in Jamaica, he would lose. If Marcus Garvey were alive today and ran for election in Bedford-Stuyvesant, he would win. Tell you something about the temperament of the Caribbean mentality at home and the Caribbean mentality away from home. A few years ago, Caribbean scholar Keith Henrik wrote an article for me when I was editor of Freedom Ways called Tigers Abroad and Meek Moses at Home. I wouldn't publish it. I said it's a good article and it's absolutely honest. But if I publish it, somebody will have my head. But it's honest, it's true. So why don't you publish it? See, it reveals something that none of us are ready to face. And this summer, last summer in Barbados, on an intellectual tour, I delivered a lecture called The Caribbean Mind Away from Home, dealing with the fact that the finest minds that the Caribbeans ever produced never could function in the Caribbean. Marcus Garvey, and that the best minds who attempted to function in the Caribbean were killed in the Caribbean. The last example was the great Walter Rodney, killed in the Caribbean. And their finest minds function outside of the Caribbean, and that Black America became the beneficiary of some of these finest minds, starting with Prince Hall, who built the Black Masons. And there, in Barbados, one evening, before I made the speech, I was speaking to an aristocratic woman, and I said that tomorrow I will speak on the Caribbean mind away from home, and I will start with Prince Hall, and I will end with George Lammon. And she jumped as though I had said something about her mother that was unpleasant. She said, "You dare mention the name of George Lammon on this island?" I said, "He's only the finest literary figure Barbados has ever produced." She said, "That horrible man. He dared to say that tourism is horrorism." I said, "What else is it?" I said, "George Lammon is such a great writer. I was reading one of his novels, and he was describing rain. And he was describing it so graphically. When I finished reading the novel, I started outside. I went upstairs and looked for a raincoat and quite forgot that the sun was shining. He made me feel that it was raining outside. That was greatness in writing. And she said, "Why not V.S. Naipaul? He handles the English language so well." V.S. Naipaul is an East Indian who hates East Indians, West Indians, English, hates Indians, hates his own people, everybody else's people. Don't love nothing and nobody. But he handles the English language quite well. There is no humanity in anything he ever wrote. All right, now, let's start the lecture. Marcus Garvey is too important for delay. At first, in talking about Marcus Garvey, it would seem that I am talking away from the subject, but I will be talking directly on the subject all of the time. We need to place Marcus Garvey in proper focus, and to do this, we need to place the Caribbean people in proper focus. Therefore, we need to look at their here-ness in their now-ness. Since the election of Edward Seaga in Jamaica and the invasion of Grenada, has been a major change in the Caribbean world, and a change in an attitude toward Marcus Garvey. And one wonders if this change has made Marcus Garvey and his ideals safe among Caribbean people. One wonders if Marcus Garvey would be physically safe if he was alive today. He called for the unity and the redemption of the African world. We were not ready to listen then. There's wonder whether we are ready to listen now. He was not only ahead of his time, he was ahead of this time. There's an indication that the Caribbean people, in participation in the forthcoming Statute of Liberty 100th anniversary, might be missing the point. There is something at the present Schomburg collection called the immigration voluntary immigration, indicating that the Caribbean people came here voluntarily, separating them from the black American who came on slave ships. They're missing the boat because all blacks came out of Africa on slave ships. The slave ship stopped in the Caribbean and dropped those off and continued to the United States and dropped some off. The fact that the Caribbeans came later is another point. And except for someone pointing a finger and said, I'll take that one instead of that one, any Caribbean could be a black American, and any black American could be a Caribbean. So no one needs celebrate and no one need to boast. All of us are victims of the same historical experience with variations. And no one need to boast or participate in the variation as though one is radically different from the other. The supreme test is this: can you pass the taxicab test? There was an argument in one of my classes at Hunter College between black Americans, Africans, and Caribbean. And I told all of them, and I especially picked those with black faces, not brown or almost whites or yellows. I said, I want all of you to go down, and I want each one of you to count the number of cabs that pass you by before one stops. Don't open your mouth. I want to hear no accent. Just stand there and tell me how many cabs pass before one picks you up? 21 cabs on an average before anyone picked up any one of them. The Caribbean, the African, and the Afro-American. And when they came up, I said, I don't want to hear no damn argument about who came from what island, who came from Georgia, or who came from what part of Africa. You are all African people, and that damn bigoted cab driver is a better Pan-Africanist than all three of you. And once we understand that we belong to the same African family, no matter what island you came from, what part of Georgia you came from, or what part of Africa you came from. And that is the essential message that Marcus Garvey was trying to get across to you. One God, one aim, one destination. And when you can't understand that, you betray Marcus Garvey. And that is the essential message. All right, now, let us proceed. What we have to understand with those who are participating in the separate charade around the Statue of Liberty that hasn't got a damn thing to do with any of us, that a decade after the arrival of the Statue of Liberty was a decade of anti-liberty all over the world for African people everywhere. Let's take 1886 and let's take the decade after 1886 and look at it all over the world and see what that decade means in relationship. In Africa, 1886 was the end of the long colonial wars and the politics of exile. The Asante Wars was coming to a close. 1886, the British burned down or tried to burn down the city of Kumasi. 1885, they exiled the King Prempeh. Not only exiled him, but made him submit and forced him literally to kiss the shoes of the British governor along with his mother. Humiliated one of the most illustrious kings in all Africa. Around the other end of Africa, they had broken the last of the great Zulu kings of Africa were being exiled. In East Africa, the Uganda kings were being betrayed by the Catholic Church and the British Church and the Arabs. Something else we haven't been able to do. All right, in West Africa, Soumaré Touré, Sékou Touré's grandfather, was fighting his wars to stop the advancement of the French. In North Africa, the Rift Wars to stop the French in North Africa was still being fought. Further down the Guinea coast, Ousmane de Torador was fighting the French in the Muslim wars. In the Sudan, the second Mahdi, Khalifa Abdul Hayya, was at war with the British. All right, the British were fighting to retake the Sudan, and this fight to retake the Sudan was after the death of the Mahdi, and this war was reported by a young British reporter named Winston Churchill in a remarkable book called The River War. When a British butcherer, Kitchener, went in to allegedly defend England's honor and killed 50,000 Sudanese in one evening, and Churchill boasts of this in the book. We killed 50,000 of the beggars in one evening. Africans were being killed all over the world. 1884, a degenerate Belgian king, Leopold, called a meeting, and all the thieves who had not had enough muscle, who had not taken part of Africa, began to cut up the rest of Africa, and therefore they got the Congo. The French got more of equatorial Africa. The Germans got 4 pieces. Southwest Africa, now called Namibia, Tanzania, the parts of the Cameroons, and Togo. So after the arrival of the Statue of Liberty was an anti-liberty campaign against African people all over the world. Okay? Here in the United States, what is happening? Booker T. Washington, the betrayal of the Reconstruction, and the part of the liberty that we had won was going. And blacks who had won the right to serve in Congress were physically being driven out of public office. And near the end of the century, 1895, Booker T. Washington made his famous Atlanta speech. This speech was interpreted as though he endorsed Jim Crow. A rash of Jim Crow laws came into being 1895, and most of this Jim Crow laws came into being between 1895 and 1900. 1906, beginning of vast race riots, the Atlanta race riots, the riots against black soldiers in Brownsville, Texas, the famous Brownsville raid. Organizations coming to be, all right, the NAACP, born 1909. You just count those 10 years after the arrival of the Statue of Liberty, all over the world, we were catching hell. So what kind of liberty did it mean to black people? Any place. In the Caribbean fight for constitutional government fell on deaf ears. And the reform that the British promised was not delivered, to the point that British governors of Caribbean islands had the right to even take their gambling debts out of the treasury of the islands, and did. Now, what in hell are you participating in the celebration for? What does the Statue of Liberty mean to you? We are forever misinterpreting history. All right. Marcus Garvey was growing up in Jamaica, dreaming and hoping and seeing things much clearer than most people see things. Growing up learning, growing up, looking out at sea, dreaming of ships, learning his craft, shaping his destiny. Ultimately, he would begin to leave Jamaica. He would make his first trip outside of Jamaica. He would make a tour at a young age outside of Jamaica. And indicative of his skill, everywhere he went, he found a job doing something. Watchman, running a newspaper. He was not unemployed any place. This is a person with so much native talent that everywhere he went, he inquired about the conditions of his people. A born leader with wild confidence in himself. This is his exception. Growing up in an island, highly color conscious then and now, because the color had made a deal with England to the point where England had granted the colored special job categories that to some extent they still hold. Special professional privileges, to some extent they still hold. Literally creating a brown society, an almost white society with job categories. He came from a society of craftsmen that didn't have to apologize for his blackness. And he had confidence in himself and his skill to the point where he did not have to cater to anyone based on color. He had skills over and above that and rose above it. He had this kind of confidence, and this would help him through life. And one of the reasons why many times he overplayed the color scheme in the United States is that the color scheme in the United States operated differently. The crude white men in the United States put all the color gradations in one bag and put one word on the bag. No separate category, no separate neighborhood, no separate job classification. If you were poor, you all lumped together. Because Europe dumped its human garbage can into the New World. America got the worst of the garbage can. The lowest white persons of Europe hit the United States. And this is something most people don't take into consideration, that the black America got the worst white people on the face of the earth. And when you judge the black American, understand he got the worst of Europe to deal with. Now, none of them were good, but ours just happened to be the worst of the lot. And Garvey never took that into consideration when judging us. And the ones we had to deal with as against the ones they had to deal with. The ones he had to deal with brutal with a little style. And our, well, now, in addition to misunderstanding the color scheme, he seemed to misunderstand the other social scheme of the whole matter. But no. And yet, from the beginning of his projection, his greatest support came from black America. Now, this moves too fast because what we have to deal with is Garvey's learning years, because he was a fast learner and he never took anything from a second rater. Like Malcolm X, he learned quickly and he never took from second raters. Now, going back to England, we have to deal with Garvey's departure from England, Garvey's attempt to find an organization in Jamaica. And when he went to England this first time, he came under the persuasion of an Egyptian of Sudanese descent, Duz Muhammad Ali. And he worked on the newspaper of Duz Muhammad Ali, and he read, and he went to classes in England, but he learned well. And he became the beneficiary of the fact that several conferences had been held in England, and one of the conferences was the World's Conference on Race. That conference had been held in 1911. Now, Garvey read these papers in these different conflicts dealing with race. These different conflicts dealing with race, especially the racial views of an Englishman of a world-famous sociologist named Adler, and the racial views of Du Bois. Now, these men had come from all over the world. Then, in the pages of Duz Muhammad's newspaper, the African Times and Orient Review, there appeared an editorial. The editorial was quoting hear me well now, a white black nationalist. This was a man named Booth. He was in what is now Malawa, then called Naasaland. This man had grown dissatisfied with the whites in Southern Africa, And he went through Southern Africa exposing them to the blacks. And he said to the blacks, whites cannot be trusted. And he was angry with the missionaries, and he was exposing the missionaries to the blacks and telling the blacks that they can't be trusted. They're all a bunch of fakers. And when the blacks asked him, can you be trusted? You're white. To his everlasting credit, he said no. And he raised the question, Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. That's where Garvey got the statement. From the editorial about Booth and Deuce Muhammad's paper, the African Times Orient Review. Garvey never took anything from second-rate people. And when he took it, he molded over and wrote around it and added to it, theorized around it to a point where it became his own. And the world forgot Booth, who started it. Now, when Garvey came back to Jamaica, he tried to find UNIA that failed twice in Jamaica. It would not grow in that soil because first, the political atmosphere of Jamaica, partly bastardized by the color scheme. Garvey could not sell blackness in the Jamaican soil of that day, and I question seriously whether he could sell it in the Jamaican soil of this day. But now, Garvey would become an admirer of the theory of Booker T. Washington. And he would correspond with Washington with the hope of coming to the U.S. to develop the funds to build a school like Tuskegee in Jamaica. He did not find the means in 1915, and when he came to the U.S. in 1916, Booker T. Washington was dead. When he contacted the people at Tuskegee, he could not get along or communicate too well with Major Moulton and the people Booker T. Washington left behind. So he came back to New York and began to put an organization together. And what we have to do is to look at Marcus Garvey in this way. But you will not understand Marcus Garvey in the failure, in his failure in Jamaica, without understanding the Caribbean antecedents of Marcus Garvey. To understand the Caribbean antecedents of Marcus Garvey, his failure in Jamaica and his failure in the Caribbean in general seems without logic. Because the Caribbeans has a fighting heritage, a revolutionary heritage, stronger than the United States, longer than the United States. Why didn't his seed grow in that soil? And yet it did not, and probably will not grow today. Those specks of dust in the Caribbean Sea, those islands, once challenged and changed the world. What changed them? It was these islands that furnished the economy, that pulled Europe out of the lethargy of the Middle Ages. It gave Europe the economy to come out of those plagues and famines. It was also those islands that had the most enduring slave revolts in the history of the world. What happened to that spirit that failed to effect the wedding with the dreams of Marcus Garvey? It's one of the dilemmas in history. Why did it grow on this soil and not that soil? The soil that produced the Tucson Overture should have been right for God. When you look at the Jamaican soil that had longer revolts than Haiti, that produced the Maroon revolts, Mansong and other rebels. I mean, Jamaica had revolts lasting 200 years. The revolts in Haiti generally really was over a 20-year period. And that's the success of the Haitian revolt, the fact that it was almost a parley, like and step by step over 20 years. But Haiti had that damn fool Napoleon to deal with, and but the British could release soldiers to stop the Jamaican revolt. And Napoleon was so tied up with so many other things, by the time he could release soldiers, it was too late. And Haiti was the beneficiary of a fortunate circumstance in history. Jamaica was not. You have to study the entire spectrum to understand that. See, but to understand, you have to study Marcus Garvey's antecedents in the Caribbean. Now you have to look at his antecedents in the United States in order to understand why the seeds of his ideas grew here and not in the Caribbean, and would not grow in the Caribbean today, and might grow here today, or might not grow here today. Might not grow in Africa, might not grow in either one of the places today. Because Nkrumah preached them and preached them well. And yet Nkrumah, who preached them well, was overthrown by anti-Garveyistic forces. This has to be taken into consideration. We have to understand the counter forces. This has to be taken into consideration. We have to understand the counter forces within the African world. Now let's look at the antecedents of Marcus Garvey in the United States.
Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on IRFM. As we say, we're giving the whole month of the Cutting Edge to Marcus Garvey. And this is just the continuation, the legacy of Marcus Garvey, a lecture by John Henrik Clarke.
IRFM, thought-provoking, always smoking. Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Let's look at the ideas that preceded Garvey in the United States and how the scene was being prepared for Marcus Garvey 100 years before his emergence in the United States. Let's look at the first half of the 19th century. The slave rebel, the black free man, and let's look at the beneficiary in the United States of the Caribbean thinkers who did not function in the Caribbeans and might not have been able to function in the Caribbean. Look at Prince Hall from Jamaica, from Barbados, who came here, found the Masons. Why didn't he find the Masons in Barbados, where he came from? Look at Peter Ogden from Antigua, came here and found the Art Fellows. Why didn't he find the Art Fellows in Antigua? He came here and found the Art Fellows. Look at Robert Campbell, John Russell, who edited Freedom's Journal. He's from Jamaica. He edited no paper in Jamaica. He edited one here. Robert Campbell went with Delaney to search for a place for the settlement, Abakuta in Nigeria. And these Caribbean figures joined with African American figures and thought that both of our problem was one and the same, and they were right. Now look at the Caribbeans who left the Caribbean, joined with Black Americans as a union to pave the way for a Back to Africa movement almost 100 years before the arrival of Marcus Garvey. Look at the Caribbean figures come here to build an antecedent to Marcus Garvey 100 years before Marcus Garvey got here. Left out of history. And some of them, the first half of the 19th century. Now let's look at the second half of the 19th century. Some of them still functioning. Then we'll look at the Pap Singleton movement, the second half. Looking for internal settlement in the United States. Then the external settlement, the Chief Sam movement. It's a Ghanaian named Chief Sam who said some boats would come to pick us up. Many blacks sold all of their furniture and everything and gathered at Galveston, Texas and other spots waiting for Sam's boats to come and take them back to Africa, and Sam's boats never showed up, of course, but it wasn't his fault. See, the people welched on the boats never got there. But the Chief Sam's movement was a big movement. It was a Back to Africa movement. And Bishop Turner's movement. All of these were movements that appeared generations before Marcus Garvey. Now, after the end of the century, the riots early in the century, Marcus Garvey arrived in the country during and soon after the World War I. He made his first national tour 1917 during the riots. 1919, the Red Summer, riots in Chicago. famous and tragic riots in St. Louis. Now Marcus Garvey's message is getting across. He goes to Chicago and tells blacks that they don't want you here. Not only let's get out of here and go back to Africa, our home, let's get our own boats and sail back on our own steam. Blacks in the Caribbean may not have wanted to listen to, we listen to anything now. Can you understand why we would listen? This ain't happening in Jamaica. They bring, in East St. Louis, they bring bonfires and throwing black children into the fire.
Yeah.
This is not happening in, we are willing to listen. Because certain things are happening to us that's not happening to any other African people in the world. Newton Baker, Secretary of Treasury, told black soldiers, some of them being lynched in their uniform, that your lot is not going to change by virtue of you fighting in the war. Du Bois has issued a statement called Closed Ranks. Let's close our ranks and help America save the war. Du Bois goes and investigates the condition of the blacks, only to discover that on the battlefield, many blacks wounded are left there to die because Red Cross won't touch a black body. And he want to take the statement back by closed ranks. Closed ranks for what? Now you can see how the atmosphere in the United States is produced to receive a Marcus Garvey, different from that in the Caribbean. But we are willing to listen by virtue of our condition that is distinctly different from the condition in the Caribbean. We are ready for anything by virtue of what we have to deal with as a different, because the British have made some fake promises in the Caribbean, and the British are making schoolmasters and constables and, you know, and clerks in the court, and you got the superficial appearance of nation, you know, but we don't even have the superficial. And this superficialness give them the illusion of nation. We don't even have the illusion. So we are willing. Marcus Garvey said, come on, let's get out of the ships and get the hell out of here. We said, all right. Let's go. Now you can see why the largest organization ever built before our sentence is built by Marcus Garvey, mainly the Black American following and Black American money. In that the whole concept that he found Black Americans with a wishbone and gave them a backbone is a lie. He found them with a condition created by the bigotry and the racism of white America that made them reach out like a drowning man at anything that looked like a rope. And neither the Caribbeans or the Africans have understood the kind of condition that white America put us in that made us appreciate a Marcus Garvey over and above that of the Africans and the Caribbeans. And most people who write about Marcus Garvey hadn't seen that. And particularly because 8 or 9 Black American aristocrats wrote the government by getting Marcus Garvey out of here, they have interpreted that as meaning all America, all black America, betrayed and wanted Marcus Garvey out. Most black Americans, with any understanding of Marcus Garvey, was for Marcus Garvey. Yes. And still are. And so we have to take it beyond conversation. We have to look at the man. We have to look at that convention of 1920, one of the largest, probably the largest convention of black people ever held anywhere at any time. 30,000 people in Old Madison Square Garden, and in turning away 30,000. Power that frightened the government of the United States. And when you go through the files of the FBI, he was the most watched human being by the government of the United States ever. In the files of the United States government, after they censor and take out and cross out those who informed on him, do you know what's left? The government files that are left. You know, if you purchase the files under the freedom of information, you know it's $1,400. The pages that are left, and they crossed out probably 2/3 of them. It was probably under surveillance more than any other single man. Now, after this convention, he was probably under more trouble, in more trouble. I think the steamship line was built too hurriedly, and because he did not examine the ships, most of the ships were poorly bought, and was not examined for seaworthiness. And they gutted ships mostly had formerly been used by bootleggers for running rum back and forth in the Caribbean islands. And he couldn't do that today. I mean, now all ships you have to be certified for seaworthiness. And in that day, you could have had a ship certified for $50, and because Garvey didn't want to be bothered with the white people certifying anything for him, he just bought them, you know, and he just bought them and paid the money, and you know. But now a ship have to be certified, and the electronics have to be certified, and whether you like white people or not, a person who with the skills to do that have to do it whether he's white or not. Yes. And whether you like it or not. That's the way it's done. Yes. Or you don't get the ship. And the person that certifies the ship is responsible if something goes wrong. So therefore, if something goes wrong with electronics, the person that's certified can be sued or lose their job. Well, anyway, some of the sea captains betrayed Marcus Garvey, and some of them stole money from Marcus Garvey, and several went into real estate with money stolen from Marcus Garvey. And but Marcus Garvey was an honest human being. He did not live elaborately. He lived in a very simple apartment, and he was not a big liver as a person. And I've talked to both of the wives, and that's a separate thing in itself. And to determine the future of a man is sometimes determined by the wives he chooses to stand beside him, and he chose two good women. And in the final analysis, they didn't particularly like each other because Amy Ashwood, who started out with him and helped him build the movement, chose Amy Jakes as his secretary, who he finally married Amy Jakes, and that angered Amy Ashwood, who wasn't too happy about losing him. And she called Amy Jakes some names which were kind of unprintable. As almost any woman would when she loses a man she wants. And doing the research on the book that I did on Marcus Garvey, and I decided that I would not print these things, but some things need to be left out of history. I purposely left it out. What those two women said about each other. I interviewed both of them. I had 36 hours of Amy Jakes on tape. And I didn't include any of it in the book, except her political views. And Amy Ashwood's tape was, I gave it to someone to copy, and they pretended they lost it, and I think he was lying. I think he's got it, and it was the only tape in existence. So it's only 8 hours, but it's only tape in existence. And I trusted it was a brother who works at a broadcasting company, and he said that someone took it. I think he got it. I think it represents a disrespect of a brother to it. But anyway, it just taught me a cruel lesson. But no, the main thing is that the argument over the ships, the mismanagement of the funds, led to his imprisonment in Atlanta. And this led to a pardon and deportation by Coolidge. Pardon by Coolidge and deportation. And after deportation, the movement began to decline, and his return to Jamaica. The second Jamaican years, when he tried to move the movement from Jamaica, was not successful. He ran briefly for public office, and that wasn't successful. He was elected once, and the second time, on technicality, he was not re-elected. And he went back to his trade to pay off his debts and decided to go to London. And when he departed for London, the newspapermen got around him and don't know if he had a statement to make. He said, yes, gather around. Yes, I got a statement. Listen, write this down. They all prompted to write the statement down. His great departing statement before he went to London. He said, Jamaica is a ridiculous country. End of statement. Now his years in London, the editing of the Black Man magazine, were years of sadness, years when he highly critical of the Italian-Ethiopian War, critical of Haile Selassie for leaving, years of ill health, years of came to Canada when he could, and people would go to Canada and see him. He used to come maybe every other year. As a stringer reporter, I went on one of those journeys and saw him. He was angry and bitter and rather obnoxious and disappointed and somewhat offensive, you know, accusing everybody of betraying him, and he was probably right. And I tried to understand that man who had dreamed of turning the world around and who had invested so much in the hope of a people, and now asking people why didn't they collect the basic monies for the subscription to the magazine, like $6 or $7 that they were supposed to collect and had not collected, and reduced to arguing about petty things. It was a sad occasion, and sometimes I regretted that I had gone, but it was the first and only time I laid eyes on Marcus Garvey. And while I regretted having seen a great man in this condition, it was at least the one opportunity in my life to have seen him. And I never corresponded with him, but he would go back and talk in Hyde Park. But this man and his hopes and his dreams was to change our world around. And he would inspire, and in Nkrumah, and he would inspire most of the African leaders. Now, the political meaning of his life for today is that everyone who has dreamed and hoped for our people have not been able to avoid Marcus Garvey, what he meant to the Caribbean islands, and what he meant to the African world. And if we are ever to be anything whole as a people, we have to come back to this man and his bold dreaming. And everyone who has said anything to our people meaningfully have said in essence part of what Marcus Garvey has said repeatedly. Up, up, you mighty race, you can accomplish what you will.
Fiery obtain, thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Well, it is to be done. It must be done through unity.
Marcus, if you're black, you're African. If you're white, you're European. That's the truth. If you don't know where you're going, you don't know where you're coming from. The devil's first is that is to try about the king from the side. You've got to give the honor to the man, Marcus Garvey. Black man, you should rule your own destiny. Yeah, you've got to give the honor to the man, Marcus Garvey. You've got to give the honor to the man.
Marcus a black man prophet. Everybody hero. Love me more than money when you call you the Nero. Teach us to use words that sword like sorrow. Love Marcus, shout it out, let me hear.
Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on IRFM. We're going through the pieces, as we say, representing to your Marcus Garvey the whole month, and this was the legacy of Marcus Garvey. Lecture by John Henrik Clarke. But we want to play something at the beginning of this tape here. We want to play the direct beginning. Listen to this.
That Jamaica was one of the Depression. The fine Caribbean art. Thank you very much. I came to Brooklyn early in the day to make an appraisal of the work of a distinguished artist that I've known for 50 years. He was somewhat despondent because he was a friend of the radical years of the Depression. A fine Caribbean artist, and we were together in those Depression years, and we were also hopeful. Under a great teacher, Wilson Huggins, who allegedly jumped off George Washington Bridge out of frustration. And because we loved him, we didn't believe it. We believe it was foul play. That's not the point I'm driving toward. His point to me, because I came over to his artwork, one of our major unrecognized artists, is what was it all about? What did we do it for? 2 generations of struggle and wishing and fighting to face a generation of young people who don't seem to care, and older people who don't seem to care and don't seem to know. We started the Harlem History Club. We was with an activist called Sufi, who in Chicago was named Reverend Cruikshank, and who really started the Buy Black and Don't Buy or You Can't Work campaign. And we started the whole concept of Black Studies 2 generations before this young generation started it, or thought about it. We were in the river-to-river picket line. We remember days in the Harlem community where blacks could not even close on 125th Street, 10-cent stores on 125th Street, where blacks couldn't even have jobs or drive buses. In New York City, we were on picket lines, not trying to chase and not trying to impregnate every little girl we met. And we had dignity and respect and had youth, and now Reed is old and worn and barely got enough strength to go up and down stairs in his own home, and where's it all went and what was it all for? And we're facing a generation who's asking questions about a cop-out generation that's not delivering anything. We never heard of crack, and we didn't know what marijuana looked like or smelled like. This is a dialogue between 2 men 50 years later. He came out of the Caribbean, I came out of the South. Both poor, committed to the salvation of our own people. Both young Garveyites, trying to see what we could do to redeem our own people. Now we're asking, what was it all for? We put it on the line. What kind of work did we do? Scrubbing floors, porters, elevator operators in hotels, taking the insults, surviving however we could. Now 50 years later, we meet. Here's a former fine artist, former art director in a major advertising agency. His family grown and gone. His wife's gone. He's had two. I've had two. Sure and gone. Mine about gone. None of his wives barely understood what his life was about. None of mine either. We could have done a whole lot of things with our lives. We could have said yes to the right people. Both of us could have been rich, because that's what we wanted. We could have copped out, walked down Easy Street. We could have been the Cadillac route, the glamour route. We went down the commitment route, trying to save a people. Amen. All right. Now, what's this got to do with the speech? Probably nothing. Really? Probably everything and nothing. 50 years is a long time in the life of two people. When you've known a person 50 years and you meet and start a dialogue, say, what was it all about? What did we two people do with our lives? We were committed to our people. We served well. We served honestly. Neither one of us are rich or poor. And it was the irony of it. Both of us have a brownstone house. About the same type of brownstone house. About the same plumbing problem. But the main thing, what have we done with these last 50 years? What have we seen? We've seen two generations parade before us. What have they learned? What have they committed to? We started out in the active years, the Italian-Ethiopian War. We thought Africa would be liberated by now. We've seen it go to the door of liberation and literally turn around or be turned around. We've seen the two branches of the African world, Afro-American, Caribbean, and Africa, get to the brink of liberation and let itself be turned around. Literally, we've seen Garvey betrayed. We've seen him betrayed by his own people. We've seen his dream turned around. And tragically, in his own country, of people who will elect a Siaga, producer Marcus Garvey, and elect a Siaga, a white man from Boston, have problems. Call him a Lebanese if you want to. This is a job artist and a con man who came to Jamaica to be elected. Learn Jamaican folklore, learn Jamaican dialogue, studied Jamaicanese, studied the politics of Jamaica, studied the folklore and the ways of the Jamaican people, jived his way into the politics, and got elected. No black people. The folk ways, the color ways, their color preferences, and rolled in on their prejudices. Knew Jamaica was one of the most color-stratified islands in the Caribbean. England had made it so. All of this has to do with something. If Marcus Garvey were alive today and ran for election in Jamaica, he would lose. If Marcus Garvey were alive today and ran for election in Bedford-Stuyvesant, he would win.
REFM, thought-provoking, always smoking, lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Yes. You know, we play that part of the tape because when we was lining it up, it never started at the top. That was the top of the tape to the point where we started the tape. Marcus Garvey's betrayal, the legacy of Marcus Garvey in Jamaica. You hear the man say, if Marcus Garvey was alive today and run for election, he would have lose. I agree with him. I agree with him. A country who gave the world Marcus Garvey, elect a Lebanese as them leader in politics. Serious thing. Serious thing. Cutting edge.
Marcus Garvey words come to pass. Marcus Garvey words come to pass. Can't get no food to eat. Can't get no money to spend. Oh, can't get no food to eat. Can't get no money to spend.
Yes, Marcus Garvey, yes.
Greetings, Congo.
Blessed man.
Rastafari. In the year 1995, we wrote, we submit some words to Marcus, share it on RFM Live with Mr. Ellis. Can we share, we visit the work this year. Can we share the punchline?
That's sure, man.
Okay. The punchline go like this. Smitten spoken words, the black-hearted way.
Yeah.
Just for you. Let's start again. Smitten spoken words, the black-hearted way. Pricelessly dedicated to you, as I and I would say. Blessed 127th birthday. That poem, that's the punchline. The poem is entitled Marcus Messiah, rightly so. Marcus Messiah Garvey.
Blessed man.
We just choose to share the punchline only because of all that is poured throughout the program tonight. And we want to give the thanks.
Give thanks, man.
For echoing.
You are listening to Mutabaruka.
There was a guy from Spain. Christopher Columbus was his name. Down in the West Indies is where he gained his fame. A lot of black people went down the drain.
Listen to the man called Ken Booth. This is the Cutting Edge. Yes, Method. Hail.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, me want to hear up Cabo.
Yes.
Yeah, and the man still.
Thanks.
Yeah, me gonna say, you see, since we celebrate Marcus Garvey's birthday, acknowledge him fully. What we gonna do now? We're gonna continue with the same recipe. We're gonna continue with the same formula. Because you say something, you say, I mean, some people now go like it, some people now go agree, but you have to be said still, you know? Now, we travel through the 60s, to the 70s, to the 80s, to the 90s. And now we're in 2014. And we condition on better. So, when are we going to practice what Marcus Garvey really said? When are we as a people going to consciously move toward consciously changing our condition, your mind, your whole thinking, your whole mindset? When are we going to do that? Seriously tackle this. You can't afford to sport and play 7 days a week, continuing the same formula. Crying. You can't really call on Marcus Garvey name, you know, if you don't listen to what he say you do, you know. You really don't have no grounds to really call the man name, you know, if you don't do what he tell you if you do. After he do so much legwork in discovering so many things and sharing it, and your condition look like say it was not here. You tell me, say, you have any right calling this man name after he do so much work for you, and you sit down there and you don't have nothing on your foot, on your hand, on your neck, and you still can't get it right? When are you gonna move to really change your condition, man? You are in a high-tech instrument, the crowning glory of nature. When are you going to pick up a book and really enlighten yourself like Marcus Garvey did? Who you think going to do it for you? No man going to cut their head and take out what's in there and put it in yours. I'm asking you again. I'm not coming back here and do this all over again. It's painful as hell coming here just to talk to you, man. Painful. It's a long journey, man. Long journey coming here just to talk to you, man. And you won't move like you're supposed to. What the hell you need, man? You know how many tears I cry for you? Every time I think about it, I shed tears, man. And you still won't move. Muta, give thanks.
Yeah, man, give thanks, brethren. I hear it and I feel it.
All right.
It took a man like John Hawkins to create the world's most grievous sin. In taking a nation that was born to be free and brought down there in captivity. There was a guy from Spain, Christopher Columbus was his name. Down in the West Indies is where he gained his fame. A lot of black people went down the drain.
Yes, Cutting edge.
Greetings.
Blessed.
Muta.
Yeah.
His Majesty, you know?
Highly.
I have a thing, Marcus Garvey. I want to share with I, yeah?
Yeah, man, give thanks.
Okay. We have gradually won our way back into the confidence of the God of Africa. And he shall speak with the voice of thunder, that shall shake the pillars of a corrupt and unjust world, and once more restore Ethiopia to her ancient glory. The psalmist prophesied that prince would come out of Egypt, and Ethiopia would stretch forth her hands unto God. We have no doubt that the time is now come. Ethiopia is now really stretching forth her hands. This great kingdom of the East has been hidden for many centuries, but gradually she's rising to take a leading place in the world, and it's for us, the Negro race, to assist in every way to hold up the head of Emperor Rastafari.
Give thanks.
Black man in November 1930, he made this speech.
Give thanks, sister.
Thank you. Blessed love.
Is where he gained his fame. A lot of black people. There was a guy from Spain. Christopher Columbus was his name. Down in the West Indies is where he gained his fame. A lot of black people went down the drain.
You know, we talk about stiff-necked fools. Believe you me, man. Black people. You hear the brethren talk a while ago, emotional. Stiff-necked fools, man. Yes, yes. Yeah.
Man. Cutting edge, DJ Kev, Alabama.
Yeah, man.
Oh, God. Yeah, man, the John and Clarke there is a powerful tape. Run through a few of them for my spare time, and a lot of knowledge acquired from them, you know?
True.
Yeah, man, you know, the understanding of self now. I'm sure how I look on it. My little sister there, she showed to the other day, you know, Lisa. She debunks me for a period of time, and it's like, I can't say my mother through her. See? And me I say, wow, you see, right, my little sister now, how me treat her. Some would like most man treat woman, because they look on each sister as your sister, as your brother. Your sister, your mother, or your cousin, or your little daughter, you understand?
Yeah.
So if most Jamaican men really could have looked upon a sister like that, maybe we would have raped one another, so maybe we would have abused and killed one another. So I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, well, you have to see the good in things, you have to see yourself in things, you know. So if you can't see things, if you have to say, if you want the good, you have to really see the good in someone thing, and so all things as a matter of fact. So really and truly, you know, you have a quote say, how can you say you love God and you can't see God? First, you have to love who you can see. So if you can't love who you can see, how you going to love who you can't see?
You know?
Well, that's the irony.
Where the knowledge is concerned, you know, so I get addicted to knowledge, you know. It's like every minute of every second of every day. Anyone with them, I have to read something. It's like, if I not read something, feel like, say, boy, I waste time.
Well, Marcus Garvey addressed that, you know. Marcus Garvey say, even when you sit down and wait for a train or a bus, you know, just get something and read, you know. Carry a little book with you and read. And Marcus Garvey keep emphasizing that. Read, you know.
I go work. I have to do documentary and I can't then read it, you know.
Yeah, man.
But knowledge, there's so much thing to know. If your man say no, I know nothing. It's like, there's so much.
I'd say you don't know enough. You have some man who say him know enough, you know.
You know?
Yeah, him no want no more nothing. Him just read enough, you know.
Because even on the earthing levels and the grounding levels, I have static energy. Something when me had to discover on my own, and it's like, What are some scientists bridging now to come?
Make you feel powerful, man. Make you feel powerful.
Yeah, man. Can you discover, say, alright, if they do that to that produce that the effect there, and you know, you have things they can use in your daily. Because somebody said to me, I can't follow Muta. But me I say, no, gone past Muta now, me I do the field study and me I observe the thing myself and me I see the results.
Of course.
You understand? So, I just say with them with knowledge, man, and knowledge is power.
Yes.
Black people, Jamaican people, knowledge is power. Try if you know. Anything you do, don't believe a man tell you. Try if you know.
Yeah,
and if you can make an informed decision.
Yeah, man.
And
You have to go investigate. You have to do what by investigation. Get enough information.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
give thanks,
man.
Virgin.
Give thanks, man. We're there as usual. I don't know. We're there. We come forward. You don't know. I have to link you.
Alright, give thanks.
Alright, give thanks, uncle.
Africans were the first builders of civilization. They discovered mathematics, invented writing, developed sciences.
The question is, how many more songs and poems, how many more speeches have to be written and said for black people wake up to the reality of themselves?
Direct descent from Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. He is the King of Kings, the Lion of Judah. The name Haile Selassie means power of the Trinity.
Educate yourselves of Africa. To liberate yourself, Africa. Keep your heads up high. No more will we cry. Hey, our history that they stole, Africa, is written in our souls, Africa. Oldest nation on this earth, know just what you're worth. Well, ships that sail to distant places robbed us of our rights and words. History says that you betrayed us, talking of the God you serve. Hear the rumbling in the sky.
Yes, Cutting Edge, there with you, yes.
Morning, Muta.
Blessed.
On your topic, we need to be realistic because the generation that's ruling now is like in their 30s and they have no idea of their history. The people that they had to look up to, they're all gone. So there's nobody teaching them right from wrong or history.
Why you say the people them who you teach them are gone?
Because, we would have to look up to our elderly folks to hear our history. And
then
even
30-year-old youth not have nobody to look up to?
But them people, they don't know are gone. They don't relay these messages to the younger people.
I don't understand that statement because my daughter past 30-year-old and I am still here relaying messages.
And that I hear daughter, but me have my grandma. If me ask my grandma about my history, she don't know.
How much year old you is?
I'm 32.
Yes, and you don't know nobody who can relay. Not all your grandmother.
I know people, but if I ask my grandparents, them can't relay nothing to me.
Yeah, but when you ask your grandparents too old now. You have to make them sit down and go find.
And also my only have a grandma right now, and she kind of young and.
She
knows, but she don't know the depth of it,
Yeah, but this age is a new age, not. Where your grandmother would have didn't know in a fair old age, you can know overnight by just pressing a computer or just.
Then, of course, I do know that. But I learn totally different something from what I hear from people on the radio.
Like what? For instance, like what?
Alright, for instance, growing up as a kid, I used to see like documentaries on TV about Africa, and I used to wonder what happened to our ancestors that were left back in Africa while we came to the Caribbean. And watching TV them time, I realized that it was just disease-stricken people, and people my age were thinking like, oh my God, I'm glad that I escaped that, But nowadays, when I look back, internet research, and then some of them realize it all came from the white people, infiltrating Africa. But one thing I always wonder is how come all of the countries in Africa were infiltrated by the white people except Ethiopia. That's one thing I always wonder. Ethiopia was the only country that wasn't intruded by the white people. How come?
Well, I don't know how to answer how come, but I know that within the relationship Ethiopia as a high region in Africa and based upon its history, its relationship with history, it maintained a certain nationalism that surpassed most of the other countries that could be infiltrated easily by land by the Europeans. Ethiopian history gone further than most history of most African countries, and it was able to maintain.
Because if white people were tough in terms of weapons,
most African countries, and it was able to maintain.
Because if white people were tough in terms of weapons and them something there, why couldn't they?
Yeah, well, that may I tell you now, say the people or the Ethiopians maintain a certain connection with them history and culture, and because of the region where Ethiopia finds itself, it was very difficult to infiltrate it. And even when it was infiltrated, the people they maintain a certain nationalism that caused it very difficult for people come and overthrow them. Them fight off that invasion even more than other people who was on the lowland and the lower parts of Africa, where it was easily infiltrated, and there was so many, what we call now, no connection with a certain history and heritage. That is really what motivates people, them connection to history and them culture is what keep them intact. That is
Alright, so what I'm saying now is that us who are in the Caribbean, we don't know our history. So being that Ethiopia wasn't infiltrated by these white people, would they know our history and could they teach it to us?
History? No, but we know the history now.
What the history? White people come and take us from there and bring us here?
No, Ethiopian have to tell me about my history now. Me have enough information now that me can teach people who me consider as slaves the history of Africa. We're not talking about no white people come take with. That is not African history. African history exists thousands of years before white people in Africa.
But when I say don't move, people my age, right?
Yeah, your age.
When we research it, that is as far as we go back.
Yeah, but when I tell you now, so you can't go further than that if you research
How
it.
we find that?
Oh, I find it.
If I go on the internet, I find up to that point. I can't find beyond that point.
No, but that is not true. That is not true. The tape I just played a while ago, it come from the internet. Yes, the books that you know have, Ben Buchanan books, John Henry Clarke books, you name the African literature that you can find them on the internet. You have tapes of history teachers, philosophers, black history historians right now. And if you go up on YouTube, as a matter of fact, if you go up on YouTube and Google any name that you want to find out about African history, just put African history. You see how whole heap of them come up that have nothing to do with white people writing it. Most of the African history that you find right now on the internet is put there by black people and historians of black consciousness. So, you know, if you put Malcolm X in there, you see how much Malcolm X speeches come up, and then it refer you to other speeches by other black people. You know, so it's not like... But
it all leads to the same thing.
See, what is the same thing?
The point of the Western movement, where everybody were brought here.
No, but that is not... Then, what is that I tell you? Oh, you mean, it don't... You keep saying about everybody was brought here. I'm telling you about historians who don't talk about how we was brought here, but how we were in Africa before the Europeans got here. Sheikh Anta Diop, Ben Buchanan, J.A. Rogers, all of these people don't talk about slavery. Them talk about the glory of Africa before the Europeans got there. The Moors of Spain. All of these books is available, and you can get the literature and the lecture on the line, online. If you go on the YouTube, it don't have nothing to do. We're not talking about no slavery at all now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you have to search for it. You can't find it. You can find it. It's easy, very easy. One touch of a finger, and you find all of these literature that you hear. Everything when you hear me talk about. Years ago, I was saying these things, and I was seen as stupid fool. Now people go up on the internet, go up on YouTube, and the same thing where them see on the YouTube, it's the same thing when Muta did that 20 years ago, and them say, oh, so when did I say it did have sense? So I said to you now, your fingers can find the history of Africa, not written by white people, and not about slavery, but before slavery, before white people got there, before Arabs got there, you have educated black historians, black archaeologists, black anthropologists, black philosophers who will show you what we're talking about. Don't mind you say about no slavery at all. We're past the slavery thing, you know.
We're past that.
Yeah, we're past the slavery thing. We're talking about knowledge of Africa, not knowledge of white
without even the research, though, Muta.
Yeah.
A lot of people my age, we don't even know who our God was back then, you know.
Yeah, but not only your age. A lot of your grandmother don't even know neither.
Yeah, we just adapt this Jesus thing, and I'm sure that's not it.
Yeah, but it's well, it's you have got to figure out by yourself now. Go deep within the soul of yourself and figure it out. Because your parents, grandparents, or whosoever you're talking about, them don't get brainwashed already into the white Jesus thing. You now have to come to a different conclusion and a different understanding of self now. That's why Marcus Garvey is very important, relevant. The philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey is very readable by any age, and you can get that in a most bookstore now.
Okay.
You know, so you need to go do some examination. The philosophy and opinions, I bet if you go at Songsters, you can get it. But Songsters never used to sell black books. You know, but you have to it's investigation.
Okay.
Yeah, give thanks, yeah?
Alright.
Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. We're there with you.
Scholars and scientists now concede
Steve Marley.
place of mankind. Africans were the first builders of civilization.
Even the songs them is illustrating to your African history. Yes. And we must not talk about slavery as African history. We keep saying that, you know. Slavery is not, and I repeat, not African history.
The name Haile Selassie means power of the Trinity.
You see, when you infiltrate a man's culture, you can't control him forever, you know. If you can just find a little foothold in the man's cultural experiences and use that against him. The way you think them do with Jamaica, you know. You know, so them find a foothold in the Jamaican, the African people here who form the Jamaican society. Them infiltrate the culture. And this is what we have now. You look on your TV, look on the cable TV, them, the music, the food. It's all a part of infiltration of culture, you know. Anytime you see a nation keep them culture, you know, look at the Chinese, and you will see what we are talking about. Anyway, the Chinese go them carry them culture with them. That is why you go to New York, you see Chinatown. You need to have Chinatown in a Jamaica too. Below Barry Street, go right down. Above Barry Street, they go right up. Was Chinatown, cross Princess Street, Orange Street, go cross, way to Coronation Market area there. Was past West Street there, so was Chinatown. These people carry them culture with them. And if you can't infiltrate a man's culture, you will never be able to control him. And anytime you say your culture get infiltrated, you're gone. You have to go start over.
I would say the people, motherland representative. I'm on trial with the man, she my co-defendant, and I demand.
And we have to understand that culture is not just dancing and singing, you know. Culture is the way of a people. And we must understand that Africa It's our way. And we have to find forward that understanding. Always say Aguana so. Because all we're going to be is like some little zombies of America, Europe, walking around trying to support and become part of their society that is decaying and falling. It is falling. Yes. Yes. Cutting edge.
Greetings again, Congo.
Yeah, blessed.
We really want to echo this punchline again. Sweet spoken words, a black-hearted way. A priceless gift to you, as I would say. Blessed 127th day.
I blessed man.
This nation on this earth know just what you're worth. Well, ships that sail to distant places robbed us of our rights and words. History says that you've betrayed us, talking of the God you serve. Hear the rumbling in the sky, tears that our forefathers cried, and today we're still in chains. Take the shackle from our minds. You're the cornerstone, the king upon the throne. I know how beautiful art thou, Africa. Our nation has to bow, Africa. Don't you fall from grace. You're that sacred place. I would say to people, motherland.
Yes, cutting edge.
Yes, Mota.
You blessed man.
Yeah, man, blessed my brother. You know, say right now, you know, say a tree. Somebody right now we have in a Jamaica, different Africa, and I talk about Africa right now. You understand me? Mm-hmm. And you see them three, somebody there. Are you, Carbo, and Jerry Small. It's a man say, I don't hear nobody a different Africa. Everybody else coming like a bandwagonist. You understand me? Right? And right now, we have to come together as I say, Marcus Garvey. We have to come together and live off of the teaching of Marcus Garvey and the philosophy.
That was
yes, I say.
Yeah, man, that was
right. A long time we are read about Marcus Garvey. A long time we are listening to the teaching of Marcus Garvey. From even back before even when you have your bookshop there.
Yeah, man. They did have a little pan cutting edge. We start out with it. We did have a little segment where it's all the teachings of Marcus Garvey, you know.
You know.
Yeah, we did have that. Yeah, man.
You know. Mota, but tell the people them say, yeah, the politician them want 5 years for better Jamaica. But tell themselves them give me 2 months. But can run Jamaica better than how them run it. A real thing in a Mota, not a joking thing, you know.
No, but I laugh because I joke, you know. I laugh because
alright, watch it.
Yeah.
You see, the first thing what we are going to do is bring back them youth club here. Get back the values and attitude. Right? You see, the second thing, in every community, them say take a village to raise a child. And we're going to teach everybody to be responsible. You understand me? In every community. Right? And everybody will come as one. You understand me? Show the unity there. Right? The third thing.
Oh, you're going to do that with all them gun all over the place?
No, man, Mota, them they can't come out, man. I want to hear Mota, them they can't come out, man. You understand me? Because you want no, you see, in the community, you say, if you know, say, a man a murderer and a pedophile, we are going to get him out. Yes, what I say? We are going to get him out. First, what we are going to do, we are going to utilize the natural resources what we have. Do some research, start put some things on shelf.
Yeah.
Right? We have a lot of young people who have some brilliant idea. We have to bring them to the forefront and see what them can offer. Right? What we are going to do is get the finance where them can come and oversee it. So it can run, so they can employ people.
Which part you get the finance?
We are going to find it, man. As we say, we have not enough natural resources. We are going to utilize them. Right? They will create entrepreneur. Them a politician, them not bring entrepreneur, them kill entrepreneur. Right? And when we do that, look at them to make and have a better outlook. When them politicians and them thieves are money, them just resign from them portfolio and go back a backbench.
Well, like
Them
we
not
have
a
all them,
account.
like we have them great thinking that they try to just go in politics, brethren.
Motor, right? I know them are politics we are run. Me don't want them a politics.
No, me not talk about them the politics. Me talk about your politics. Me not talk about them the politics.
Yes, but you
one
said
man
more
can't
time
run,
now.
you know what? One man can't run in a politics.
Yeah, man, but just right I know, I just the people. We have to, just the people have to come. We have to just come together. Because we have to have the support of the people.
Yeah. All right.
We have to have the support of the people. And if we don't have the support of the people, it doesn't spell sense.
Yeah.
The people have to really look and see what I want. The country can better. We can better. The people them can better.
All right, sir. Give thanks, man. Give thanks.
Give thanks, brother. Bless up yourself.
Yeah. Yes. Why you look all the people them in England who are listening to me right now? The sister out of England. She's singing about Black Pride. Coffee.
Black is the color of my skin. Black is the life that I live. I'm so proud to be the color that God made me. I just got to say, black is my color.
Yes, Cotton Edge.
Yes, heal up, my man.
Blessed man.
Yes, I say. A long time, you know, you're the voice, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, the prophet, you know.
Who are the prophet? Marcus Garvey, are you?
A fair time now, you know.
Okay, you are the prophet now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man, you remember saying, man, the pan here with you more than once, and you give her your time to chant and them here there.
Yeah.
And then we did meet on a Marco.
Yeah, I don't remember, but go on talk. Because you got to tell me what much.
Because we just lick the early chant now where the whole world are wait for, you know, seeing.
What kind of chant them are wait for?
I am the Lord of hosts, the writer, creator, million mighty names, there's many.
Hold on, here one now. We can't watch out, here one now. That's some serious thing we are work with that one now. We can't take the joke business now and
this joke business, man. You can't take my things to joke business, man.
I am the Lord of hosts and creator and all them madness there.
Yeah.
You are the Lord of hosts and creator?
There must be a supreme being, you know.
And are you that? And are you that?
Yeah,
when you want to, and Marcus Garvey we are work with. Here, Bridget, Marcus Garvey we are work with.
Black is the pride in me, all of the world to see. I just got to say, black is my
Continent with Mutabaruka. We are listening to all of it. You know here. Continent. The end.
Rural Productions.
God's wonderful people, I am calling. God's wonderful people, I am calling. God's wonderful people, God's wonderful people. We should all unite and think about life, cause all of us come from. Yet we sit and we fight, hypocrite, backbite, and all of us come from. Where one man can have all 500 men and none have 5. The same respect goes to the darkness and light. When the
other continents are fighting each other, they're all fighting for. I will not stop until the world apologize and show some respect for. I know anything goes. Me love it when it rain, when it's sunny, when it snows. Me love when the wind blows. Me love to see me girls in the African clothes.
Yes, Cutting Edge.
Yes, Muta.
Yeah, blessed man.
Good night, man.
Blessed man.
Yeah, man. I see the program there Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying to me, I watch him Sunday night by TV, yeah, CVM.
What that?
News, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock news.
Pan CVM,
yeah. I'm not saying that this year. I see something like that, you know.
Eh?
No, I see something like that. Carry program on.
I expect them to carry it, man. It's a different radio. It's a radio station. Keep the program, you know.
Yeah, but now man, the press man. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
this a report on it.
You shouldn't expect them to carry it because we did all March. Round 2 Kings. So now one of the biggest. And then not carry it. So you know.
True. Yeah, me I say no still. You see, Marcus give everything there.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, me write a song with my out there about 10 years now, and I get it released.
Where the song? You have it on CD?
No, on CD, no. Much time I can get it still.
Yeah, man. Then I have to bring it down, man.
Hey. Yeah, me go and listen to the program, man. I'm really interested.
Give thanks, Bridget.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's somewhere you play for me. When you come by the program, man. I saw my bunny here, I don't name Deep by the Rope. That's a Tagawa game. Where's
your name? What name?
I don't know the song name, man. But this people, it is a Tagawa.
Yeah, but I can't figure out.
I never find it now still.
No, I can't find it. You tell me the name.
We can't mind you right, man.
Okay.
You know the core.
Well, maybe someone will call me and tell me exactly what it is.
Yeah, and the original call a while I got to say it's only you and Cabo and Jerry Small are different Africa. I never said that because you only hear on the radio. I don't want the man when they're on the radio, we are talking about it that way.
Eh?
You never said that because you only hear you on the radio, but you have a man in Jamaica when I have the opportunity like you who come on the radio. We are reaching out Africa.
No, him say on the radio.
Oh, I never hear that part.
Yeah, him say on the radio I talk about, you know. People on the radio we are talking about.
See, that's true that.
Yeah, all right. Listen,
yeah, man, give thanks, man.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
Yeah, man.
Cutting Edge, yes.
Aile!
Blessed.
Give thanks to the Most High, His Imperial Emperor, Aile, Sila, C.I. Aile! Give thanks to Garvey, Most High.
You know, so if you go out with all them salutations, then you have to give up your time, you know, Bridget. Talk where you talk, where you come on radio.
Big up yourself, Mota. Aile, speak. But give thanks to you, you know, because he's a great teacher, you inspire I. With all the knowledge, all the wisdom where you dip on the airwaves with over the years. Born as a tat, grew up in a Rasta family, grew up with Rasta teachings, and right now I just a far eye, giving thanks, growing the locks, living the life. It's like a two life me living on Muta, Marcus Garvey life, and a society life. A farming me do to the fullness. And I love myself to the fullness. Whenever you communicate with the earth, you become a full person, a complete person.
Yeah.
I'm going to give thanks to that through the inspiration of Marcus Garvey. Believe in yourself and you will win the race before you start.
Yeah.
With confidence, you can move mountain. No matter what happens in your life. Just brush off. Look how much time Garvey build up. Look how much time Garvey try. But he never stop. I know him can do it. Mota, I'm young youth, but I get the experience through knowledge. I go through a lot. And when time I put on the covenant for my head, everybody turn against me. Till I turn up and I say, right now, you know what? I believe in this, you know. And I know say so it I go come and get myself in subject. But I know say, oh, I have to work for no boss, man. I have to be like one of them bossy slave them. I can be my own boss. Believe in myself and put the hard muscle to the task. And you shall overcome, because hard work overcome all difficulties. And the powers of Garvey, and the powers of Rastafari, and just the energy of the ancestors, them, the spirits. And that's why I say, Aile. Yeah. And everybody start calling me Aile, but you them know that the most Aile.
Give thanks, Bridget.
Aile.
Well, just continue the journey, you know, because the journey is long, you know, but don't bother give up to you see it look like a stumbling block down there, so.
Every day I plan food.
Sweet, yes.
Mota, you always say, you want job on a farm, you want job.
Yeah.
My farm.
Your farm walk over.
Because now go surprise you, Mota.
Alright, sir. Which part your farm there? Tell me where your farm there.
My farm there in the heavens. In the mountain.
No, just tell me where the farm there.
James.
Geographically, where the farm there.
James, Maroon Town.
Maroon Town, alright. Me used to live up that way there, you know.
We know Mota.
Yeah, me used to go out. Me have to pass. You know, I tell you. When you go up and you turn off, you go up a district named Potosi District. Like you go Maroon Town, you go Potosi District, Black Shop, go right round, you can't carry, go right round, Touchpad. Jimmy Cliff used to live there. Where Jimmy Cliff have been place there. He used to come at them place summertime. You know what me I talk about. You know what Alright, give thanks, Bridget.
Mota.
Yes.
You say the word highly.
Yeah.
It can use for everything.
Yeah.
It does universal.
Yeah.
Highly mean extremely when we're looking at the Oxford Dictionary.
Yeah.
Extremely mean the highest.
Yeah, but we know why stuck on a philosophy about a word, yes or no, you know, because we don't know the farming thing and we love the nature vibes, but we don't really want to just stuck on a word, yes or no, where highly can mean and highly can't mean and highly. Highly.
Thanks to Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
Give thanks to all the eyes. Blessing.
Right. Yes. So, I continue to say, we want to tell the people them that there'll be a Nyabingi reasoning at Scotts Pass, Nyabingi Center on Sunday, August 24th, starting at 12 p.m. So, there will be a Nyabingi reasoning at Scotts Pass, Nyabingi Center on Sunday, August 24th, starting at 12 p.m. Okay, so, here we go. I shall be released.
All day long
by Miriam Makeba and Nina Simone. One written by a man named Bob Dylan. Popular version in Jamaica done by the Eptone. I Shall Be Released. Yes, Cutting Edge. Yeah.
Motor?
Yes. Yeah, man, I hear you.
Eh, you just named 3 freedom fighters a little while. Miriam Makeba, Nina Simone, and Bob Dylan.
Yeah, well, the tune when I play, why my name them? I Shall Be Released.
Yeah, me hear you. Eh, me don't watch you with you and I tell you, Bridget, me feel a very special strength, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, me feel strong that day, Bridget.
Sunday you talk about?
Sunday, man, yeah, man.
Sweet. I know how people get inspired. If they never get inspired before, that function, Sunday, I know personally say it inspire enough people.
Believe it, man.
Yeah.
Motor, the person named Bagawaya, me not find him nowhere. Written in our history.
If they don't know history, but I think about it. No, you never Bagawaya, you know. Bagawaya used to walk up and down Crossroad. Him used to walk up. Me see him all the while too. When me used to see Bagawaya run behind. Bagawaya catch a fire burn down Crossroad. Him used to walk with that truck.
One good shot, man.
Yeah. Bagawaya used to walk up and down. But him become a very folklore individual. Because people associate him with Marcus Garvey and say him sell out Marcus Garvey for rice and peas and all them something there. You know, people say them something there.
But anything they really go so though?
No, me don't know about that. Me don't know about it. But me know say me used to see Bagawaya, and me used to see Madam Muchet, and me used to see Pearl Harbor. You remember, you know who they Pearl Harbor?
Yeah, man.
Prostitute, brown skin, the first brown skin prostitute, me know. in Jamaica. Pearl Harbor, the most popular whore prostitute in Jamaica. Yes.
But I'm a lead from Spanish Town, you see?
Yeah.
I'm a lead from Spanish Town, come down there, so. And when I look and I see, says one bush a leaf from Spanish Town. I say, but the whole Marcus Garvey thing not strong in a Jamaica as it's supposed to be. A one coast that way.
Come down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you come down there, you don't see what people down here, man.
Me know, me see the place pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole place pack and them thing there. But with so much million people in our place, Motor, go national hero.
Well, I would like to see a million people down here if I say that. That's not big cats. That's you remember the man, you know, I don't know if you don't listen to the man, you know, me say Cabo, me say look here. She say she contact the Ministry of Culture and she don't get no answer from them. My thing was that if they would have just take the 50 million of them use and side with we and put where we keep in at the stadium. Trust me, man. Should that be a different occasion. Because where them do this so, the little pantomime where them have in a stadium this so. And where we do ya so. I mean I boast and say because of IRFM, but it is of more significance and more serious art searching where we do ya so than where them do up there so with 50 million.
But me not hear nobody talk about where them do. Me hear everybody talk about where
down ya so?
Yeah, that me people talk about.
So can you imagine if we did they ya so, did in at the stadium?
God, man.
Oh, God.
Last in a second, you know.
Oh, you mean, man? At 30,000 people were in that stadium, you know. 30,000 people were in that stadium. And if we did have the resources where them did have to do what them do in a stadium. Oh, gosh, man.
True.
Yeah.
True. But me hear them talk, more than one of them me hear talk about, say, them are going to teach about Marcus Garvey at the school, you say?
Yeah, but them are teach about Marcus Garvey at the school still.
I don't know where them are teaching, but you see, me see them a skip on and a go on and a skip on.
Yeah.
But in them a try modify Marcus Garvey, you know.
Yeah, well, let me do that too. Let me do that too.
Yeah.
You see, them modify each and make you feel like so we know in it.
Yeah, and that mistake I said them a try to do. Because right now, if Marcus Garvey is supposed to teach in the fullness, in his fullness, in philosophy.
An opinion.
An opinion. You wouldn't have so much bleaching a go on. You wouldn't have so much black youth on the street to kill them one another because they would understand, say, if my brother this, would have more economic activity go on amongst black people.
Well, that's why I say no, you see, when a man hear me talk, you know, I'm going to say, boy, I'm outrageous and irreligious, you know, but you hear me say no. You see, the philosophy and opinions, it directly related to black people. You see, the Bible, you can interpret it any way you want to do it and connect it with yourself, with other people, and how it come to we not see ourselves in it.
No.
Black people don't see themselves in the Bible, you know.
But it's still no matter. From Genesis, go all the way around to accept the apostle, you know. The whole of Africa, you know.
And we not see ourselves in it. Can you imagine that?
We not see ourselves in it.
Yes. So if we not see ourselves in it, and it creates so much confusion amongst we, the different interpretation and the different understanding. When you read the philosophy and Marcus Garvey, it's one direction it go to the development of black people.
Race first.
Race first. Up you mighty race. You can accomplish what you will. That is directing to a specific people. And you cannot read a book that is directed to you specifically and get a different understanding than where it's supposed to happen. So you is right when you say, if you was giving the youth them that in the school and in the churches them would have more confidence in themselves. They would have more confidence in themselves, brethren, because they would have something directly related to them. The Bible is not directly related to nobody. So you can interpret it any way you want to interpret it. That's why you have so much interpretation of it. And everybody try to put it on until you say, well, him have the right interpretation, if I'm the right interpretation. Marcus Garvey philosophy and opinions have one interpretation. One interpretation. Black people must understand themselves, raise up themselves politically, socially, economically, and spiritually. Marcus Garvey. You there? Or the virgin money done. The virgin money done. Alright. Okay, so make we continue the journey. I want to play this tune here for all the people that will listen to me right now. Anyway, you're there, this tune here is for everyone who sit down with me until 20 minutes or 2 and listen to what we are talking about. Here goes.
Cause there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. Though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no. There's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. My voice, the louder I will sing. You hide behind walls of Jericho.
At them tune ya my gospel music, them you know. At them tune ya me call gospel music.
Something inside so strong.
I tell you, man, sweet, sweet, sweet.
You are listening to Mutabaruka.
Yes, cutting edge.
Yeah, Hill.
Blessed.
Yeah, man. Muta.
Yes, sir.
I give thanks for the space, you know.
Yeah, man, give thanks, man.
Yeah, I would like to make a comment regarding people. Did you know that most people would rather be led than lead?
Yes, of course.
Yeah? You know why that is?
Yeah.
You know why that is, Muta?
Tell me, man, tell me.
It's fear.
Yeah.
Fear, because most people don't want to lose the lead. You didn't want. It's like this lady where have a step down from the mayorship in one of them parish there, because she get too much opposition.
Yeah.
You know, nobody not really dig her style, so she have to just go because nobody know with her. So if you are trying to lead and nobody now see the wisdom in your leadership, they're going to take away themselves from you. You understand? So as it relates to when near people say we must come together, the come together statement or phrase is really what is missing from that is leadership. You understand me?
Yeah.
Leadership missing from that phrase, because when you hear people say, why we can't come together, man, and Jamaica, if we just come together and something get catastrophic, like 3-4 people dead, or whatever, you must say, if we come together, man, but come together cannot happen without that important ingredient.
Leadership.
Yeah. Enough people don't want to lead, a man say, boy, I better, me not lead, you know, you go on. You get what I say? Now, me say that to say this, that you, Mutabaruka, based upon all the years me I listen to you on the cutting edge and on your day program, and, you know, me only for your dub poetry, and me say, you know, Muta really special to this island here, just like how Bob Marley special, and the rest of you know, Dennis Brown and all of these other important people, Tess Sanchin and all these people. Me I say, Muta, I believe strongly, if you would just like how you have the march there pan Jamaica House, or when you make your movements, when you go to these people, or if you go make any move like that, you have can I think strongly that you have an agricultural plan. I think you have that part, you know. Honestly, you know, based upon how we eat, you know.
Yeah.
How we're supposed to eat. All I'm thinking to mix with come on, Muta, man. I mean, them things they come like from exotic.
But the exotic thing I tell you about, man.
It has to be. It has to be, because the regular man not drink that.
No, he will drink it if him know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
You get what I say? So when it comes to agriculture, I think you have that lack. And if you put them, say, you know, most of the year, man, say you have a plan, you know, put it on paper. Document it.
Well, the document now, you can go up on YouTube and just come up with it. The document.
No, I know about me not have the thinking to a part, you know. You have the agricultural plan. You have your unique plan. Me not talk about nobody else. You talk about you, Mutabaruka.
Yeah, but when me I say to you, but when me I say to you now, like I say, over the years, everything when me I say now, if you go up on the internet, just you hear it.
Yeah,
it's
fine.
It's a different time going on.
Tangible.
No, but the way I say internet not tangible, it's tangible, man. You hear my voice.
Yeah, me know about the internet. Me agree with you, you know. Yeah. When I say, in terms of targeting the government, as it relates to
the government,
how Rasta, how them view Rasta, because them view Rasta as some aggressive type of people, you know.
Yeah, them as aggressive too. But hear me I tell you now, Bridge. I don't want to cut up the argument, but hear me I tell you now.
Yeah,
you see those people you call government, but I tell you how them listen. Why them listen to Mutabaruka? Them listen to Mutabaruka.
Yeah.
To hear Mutabaruka either cuss a bad word or say something that is libelous. Forget the tape from Andrea. For carry it to a court for go sue. That is all them listen to it for.
Yeah, you think so?
The reason why them listen to Cabo is for hear she said something that is libelous. Forget the way they will know. We go through that all every month. We have to go through.
Me hear it. Me hear it. I know say we don't go through them obstacles there.
Them know what we are saying now. Them know what we are saying now. But you know, you see, if them go implement what we are saying, it will come like them are not the leader. You see, it will go like them are not the leader. You know. Powerful people now go educate powerless people to take away the power from them, you know.
Yeah.
The aim of powerful people is to stay powerful by any means necessary. And John Henrik Clarke said that, you know.
Yeah.
So we know who is the people who have put certain agenda on the radio, yes or no. It's very difficult for these powerful people listen to we who them claim to be powerless people. To get a solution from them. You know, see, because we are getting solution, you know, we don't like criticize, you know. And no solution we are getting on the radio as you can hear, you know.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah, but you see, them now go want take it and implement it because them have a claim say, we are the boss. Them they are like workers, how the hell we are going to listen to a Mutabaruka walk up and down barefoot.
But you see, the thing about it is that, Muta, sometimes you have to create, if you want peace, sometimes you have to make war to get peace. In terms of, see a man listen. You get what I say? Because when you have a youth, I got sister him in at the right. Yeah. And him I got say him mother, I got beat him, say, you know, me don't want you to take up this Rasta thing and she will kill him with lick. And regardless of what she has said to him, in a same consciousness, him know where my deal. Him say, Mama, listen to me now, Mama, this me a deal, you know. And then down the line, couple years down the line, and whenever time, she understands, say, you know, she see where I say, because some people just lack them short-sighted, you know, them lack vision, them not the vision. Them not you get what I say, Muta?
Yeah, so that, what the day program name? What the day program name over do?
Your day program?
Yeah, what name?
It name, don't tell me Muta. Alright. It name, The Art of War.
Okay.
The Art of War.
It's a reason why it named The Art of War, you know?
Yeah, me know, because you get a reasoning for it. A couple of times, because people always try to say, figure out why it
why we not say art of peace.
Confrontational.
Yeah, well, it's not confrontational, but it is confrontational. But it is not confrontational. Anyway, we have to move, Bridget.
Yeah, bless up.
Yeah, man, give thanks. Yes, this is the cutting edge and the outside, I know. But you know, so we will be back here a little more from 2 to 5:45 with the stepping razor, the art of war. Did we tell you that Louis Farrakhan will be here in October? Yes, they're going to celebrate the Million Man March in Jamaica. You know, Louis Farrakhan have a connection with Jamaica. Yes, him have a connection with Jamaica. His father was from Jamaica. What people don't know that even Harry Belafonte, him parents them is from St. Anne. Him come from St. Anne. Yes. No people don't know that, but it's a very serious thing that you're supposed to know.
Let's look at a speech delivered by a white slaveholder, Willie Lynch. Willie Lynch. He said, quote, I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. I have outlined a number.
Yeah, we'll take one more call. Yes, one more call. Come in at this. Yes, Bridget.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, greetings, Muta.
Blessed man.
Yeah, man. Pertaining to Marcus Garvey first, right?
Yes.
The reason why Babylon really give Marcus to the fullness of the youth them is because if you really check what Marcus are dealing with, every politician in Jamaica, bar none, would have their prison right now, you know.
Of course. And next week, next week, we're going to feature something to show you that where you say it's true.
Yeah, man, all of them politicians, they according to how them for govern and how them for run them constituency and how them for live.
Yeah, man.
Every politician in Jamaica, bar none,
prison.
would have been a prison.
Yes.
See? And this goes back to where me hear the Minister Transportation say something today. And me start think about Muta, and I say, but you know, Muta always I say, if you do the same thing,
the same way, all the while, you're going to get the same result.
Expect a different result.
Yes.
You know, that's a form of mental sickness, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And the guy said, boy, them have to raise, because them have to raise the bus fare because when them did raise it the last time, them never making money for run the thing.
So they have to raise it again.
Yeah, but them never did don't go raise it. Them put a portion to new bus on the road, and them run where a whole heap of bus driver where they keep up the thing before.
Yes.
Them lock off one lane of Mandela for themselves.
Yes.
And I say, them not make enough money. But now I'm raise it again, and you know what I'm saying with bun me? And I say, Jamaica people sit down and listen to these things. The guy say, him hope, you know, say this raise ya. We make them make enough money. I mean, I said, then if you run a business so long,
yeah, and it's not make no money.
How much load of people you have for daily? Suppose you can calculate, say, watch out, $20 and $10 you want to put on.
Bad financing, brethren, bad financing.
Yeah, bad financing. I mean, I say, but this man I was the Minister of Finance, now I'm a Minister of Transport.
World class.
And him can't connect finance and transport for run a lucrative transportation system.
Yes.
But yet still, when the regular busman them do all up the thing when them pop down, you never hear the busman them a ball, so them now make no money.
Yeah.
So all them put new bus on the road, run with the bus driver them, take a lane of Mandela for themselves, to run the thing more efficient, and them still now make no money.
Yes.
And he must say, hope. That means, say, 2 months' time when he raise it again, he can't say, boy, you know what I mean? Because him say, hope, you know, say, have something that come down the line again.
Tire gone up, so he have to raise it again. Gas gone up, so he have to raise it again.
But gas price gone down worldwide right now.
No, but that I tell you, they're going to find something for say. They're going to find something for say.
Yes.
Yes.
May I say, but gas price, even dirty JPS, I said, boy, them are going to lower them rates because of lower gas price. Yeah. So why the transportation have to raise them fare and gas price less? You know, say, I treat the people less.
You know, it's why them don't want to accept, say, them administration is so corrupt that them can't investigate it to the point and find the loop, the little hole in it, where cause them to lose money continuously. That is all it is.
Let me tell you, man, now the wickedest government this Mr. run Jamaica, apart from Bustamante, where they kill off the rest of them. This administration are the wickedest thing Mr. come about Jamaica. I don't understand how you love poor and you not do it.
Well, if you love the poor, you're not going to get rid of the poor, though, because the poor don't poor anymore, you don't have nobody for love.
Exactly, because check the highway with them open. Them open it a month before school open.
Yes.
Free.
Yes.
Right?
And when school are open, now them put the money by you.
Them put the money by you. And lock off them vendors there in a faith spin and surrounding areas where
they have to find somewhere to put them people they doing it. You could have deal, you know. We're not stopping it, you know. Them have to find somewhere to make them people they earn back their money. Them have to find somewhere. Because
them people are dependent on the holiday rush to make back
them money. That's the problem. And we can't suggest.
Them not even say make them bill and slip where you can't buy a little thing and then back on the highway.
But let me tell you something. You know? Me can suggest some things. And me going to suggest the things them, you know. But me don't know if them are going to listen to me. Because me travel past so much highway all over the world that me can't see, oh, these people, you can rectify these people problems with selling. But me don't know if them are going to listen to me. But me are going to suggest some things. Publicly.
Suggest it, man.
We have to move, Reggie.
Right now, you say the first thing for solve a problem is to know the solution.
Yes.
I mean, for solve a problem is to know the cause of the problem.
Yes, and then find the solution.
And it's true, we know the cause. Most of the cause of Jamaican problem are dirty Babylon.
No, I know Babylon, you know, and the government.
That them not.
And not dirty Babylon. Them are not Babylon. Them are government.
Right.
We are give Babylon too much bad name, you know, brethren.
True, man.
It's like when a man has said, nasty dog. You give dog, but you see, Babylon was a city of high intellect, you know. The only reason why you hear man talk about Babylon is him very pro-Israel. And him read the Bible and say, why Israel get Babylon suffer him and him in a captivity in a Babylon. You know? So, anytime you hear a man talk about Babylon, it's because him really become very pro-Israel.
Yeah,
you know,
and the police will bear most of the blame for Babylon.
But you know them way. Anyway, we have to move, brethren. We're gone past the time now, yeah?
Respect.
Yes. So, we give thanks to the moment, give thanks to the time and the energy. And we say, this man I don't fix him computer yet. How you deal with Matrix? Why your computer look pretty low with that screen?
That's pretty man.
So how it don't fix it? Tell me how it don't fix it. What go on?
Just replace everything.
Then not 2 weeks, no 3 weeks, no Rasta.
No, I don't want a month.
No, but I go like things that you have suffer so much, you know, Rasta. You're not suffer, you know. A man like you will look like Arab, so can't suffer, you know. Yeah, your eye, how you mean? And you have the look, you know. So me understand how you come back with the same match of computer, Rasta. No, if you come back, if you come back with a computer next week, you know. I'm going to broke it more, you know. And you see you come back with a computer, you know, Rasta. I'm going to lock down the computer, you know. A big man like you, Rasta, Arab, looking at all them things, them brethren, who will like him mother more than all Jesus love little children. Oh, gosh, man. By the way, oh, mommy, by the way, I locked, oh, God. You know, I locked them, you know, here from my door.
You're probably with me, I told you the first in 2 months since my call.
You serious? 2 months? You look like you're worse than me, man.
You take long to call your old lady more?
No, not my old lady. Your old lady be a talk about you about my old lady. And your old lady be a talk about if me take long to call my old lady. Oh, my old lady come up in this. Anyway, you know, I got left for you, know. Believe you me, know. Matrix there at the house. Matrix not tell me what if take long to call. Yeah, that's funny.
Delivered by
you just got to tell me what if you take long. Yeah, that's funny.
Delivered by a white slaveholder, Willie Lynch. Willie Lynch. He said, quote, I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and I make them bigger. After receiving this indoctrination, shall carry it on and will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years. I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy is stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. You must use the dark-skinned slave against the light-skinned slave. You must use the